So, okay, so during your career, and honest, I know you've already talked about some players that you kind of win against, but either teammates or even potentially some opponents, but more specifically teammates, who was like kind of like the jokester or who, again, always, who was super memorable? Again, I know you had a ton of teammates, but a couple of those guys that always just, again, you just almost go, man, and just kind of laugh about it.
Well, Tim Newton. Tim Newton was like was just a rare breed of guy. I just remember he's a guy that comes to my mind all the time when you start talking about having fun. And he's a huge guy. And it's funny when you see these really huge guys who think that they're super sexy, right? And and he was the guy that was comfortable just walking around the locker room like, like I'm the sexiest guy in this whole place, So him and how he handled the locker room, I think was really it's just a memorable thing to me.
Yeah, that's funny.
As far as like friends, like gosh, you make so many, and everybody. Willie Teal was the guy who took me in when I got there. We always lived in the same apartment complexes. And so me and him got to know each other. JT was kind of the guy that I inspired to kind of be like. John Turner. He was the guy who was always, everybody knew him. He knew everybody, and he just had this kind of swagger that, like, man, I want to get to that level. I want to be that guy. And so those guys, and then when Vincey Glenn came in, and though we only got like I think maybe a year together playing together, he'll call me and say some of the stupidest things, like. And so he's the guy that I think I ended up becoming friends with late in my career, that I think we could have had a ton of fun together if we had more years. So,
yeah. Well, no, that's awesome.